Yeah. In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We as them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smoke. What is up, guys? What is cracking? It is the Con-Man, and I am in your house. And you guys already know the vibes. Anytime we slide on through, we here to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. And guys, it has been a week this past week here at In Your House. Real ECW heavy for sure, with the big interview that we just had Thursday night, and that was with ECW legend Sabu. A great interview that we had. Then we came back again on Friday and gave you a little bit more of that work when it comes to the ECW watch along, ECW hardcore television. And, you know, really for me, that Sabu interview was just to thank you guys for hanging with us. I know the week before I didn't get you a whole lot of content, but you know what? We came back, and we came back strong. And that's exactly what we do here at In Your House. And speaking of strong, the household is going to be going mighty strong this Saturday in Kokomo, Indiana at Outhouse Records for the first ever In Your House house party, our first ever live podcast, and you never know who's going to show up, and we're going to talk about that. But also, we had an event last night, and that event was Full Gear, AEW Full Gear. We're most definitely going to talk about it. I think they had a pretty good show, to be honest with you. I didn't know it was happening, but it sounded like it was a pretty good show. We're going to talk about that and a whole lot more, because I'm going to bring on my man here, and he was there on that milestone interview with me, Sabu, and then we talked some ECW the day after. Man, it is some crazy, crazy business when you get extreme with the educator of extreme, and that's the voice, Josh Joseph. He's here on the Sunday house party. What's up, man?
How goes it, house? How goes it, household? How goes it, window lickers, grunts, friends, my friends, chaos goblins? What's up there, Bruzy? We see you out there in the chat.
Sir.
We've had an epic week. Sabu was extreme. He was everything that we expected him to be, and so much more. Cannot wait to link back up with that dude. Highly recommend and check that out. I know probably the last 6 hits we got, that was me. That was purely me. I've been listening to it on repeat, man. It's so good. We really got to see a cool side of Sabu that I don't think many get to see. And
it was a different side, yes.
Yeah, you got to see his relaxed, I'm going to talk wrestling with people who truly appreciate what I did. And, you know, kudos to you, man, because I've just been that baby bird underneath that wing of yours, learning, growing, and now we're doing features with Sabu. What?
Yeah, man. It's an amazing time here at In Your House, because we got that big house party going on, and that's leading up to Survivor Series. And we talk about Survivor Series. We can't talk about Survivor Series without talking about SmackDown. And we're going to talk a lot of things SmackDown on the second half of this episode. But the man himself who covers all things SmackDown in this room, the Grunmeister, is here, and he's going to talk about it here at In Your House. What is up, man?
Yo, what is up? SmackDown was very good. And there was some good wrestling, but not a lot of it was talked about over the weekend. You know, one particular event.
I know what he's hitting out.
Listen, so we're going to talk SmackDown because I thought SmackDown was a very good episode leading up till next week. And man, I love the fact I want to get ahead of this because I've been wanting to say this, and I'm glad it came to me now before we dig deep into what we're going to say and speak a little AEW. I was very critical, guys, on these last few episodes when they've done these tape shows. How much I didn't like the hard cuts on the tape shows, the piped in fan noise, and yada, yada, yada. I'll say this. They're coming in. They're going to do some taped episodes next week. I know it's coming. I want to say this, and it like just to put my stance on it. No, I don't. I didn't like the tape shows, but I am fine with the talent being able to go and spend the holidays with their family. I'll deal with it, bro. Like I'm glad that that's happening. And I know that taking that week off to have, I know for a fact SmackDown is. I think Raw is tape 2. I think this Monday Night's Raw is tape 2. So they have the whole week. Being so refreshed from being able to have that week off and spend time with their family and recharge their batteries. Trust me, Survivor Series is going to go hard as fuck.
No, you're
like,
oh yeah,
super hard.
Our chat's going pretty hard too. We got Grun dropping in the links to follow, so go over there if you're on Grunmeisters. You can follow that. And we got Bruzy saying he followed both. He also chimed in and said Sabu didn't seem as homicidal. I noticed that too. I mean, he didn't really seem that way, but
we heard
we heard some awesome stories about when he was. And finally, we got Bruzy chiming in with Grun. Look in my eyes. What do you see? The Grun of personality. So, Grun, you are getting your own Bruzy headlines.
There you go.
Your cult of personality reference there, Grun.
I guess so now. Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, he's going to take that, man. He's going to take that because we did see the return of CM Punk on SmackDown, and that's definitely something. We have to talk about that. But listen, before we do that, we got to talk a little bit about AEW Full Gear because to me, in my eyes, like I said, I didn't catch the show because I didn't even know about the doggone show until about 2 days ago. Seriously. And I follow a lot of wrestling, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, I'm going to prefix it with this. This is not to bash AEW. This is not to do anything like that. I follow wrestling all the time. I didn't know about Full Gear until about 2 days ago. And the fact that it seems like they had a really good show because, hey, we appreciate you, bro. We appreciate you. Thank you. We appreciate it,
We say it all the time.
All the time, bro. All the time. But, like, they had a great show, and it just looking at it, like, it looked like it was fun. It looked like it would have been a fun show to be at. It looked like it would have been a fun show to watch. I'm not dropping that money for it, but it looked like it would have been a fun show to watch, and that's cool. That's great. But, like, why didn't I know about this, man? Like, why am I going on and I'm seeing this show and it seems like there was some big events that was going down. Bobby Lashley defeated Swerve Strickland via submission. Jon Moxley retains the World Heavyweight Championship. Daniel Garcia wins the TNT Championship. And we're talking about Big Boom AJ, bro. We talking about the Rizzler, bro. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand why you bring them in. You're trying to, and even Taz said it, you're trying to pull in that mainstream fan base or whatever, but, like, where was the love for Daniel Garcia in a star-making performance? Why is he not the one that we're like, all right, there should have been pictures. He should have been blasted all over social media. I didn't see it.
Nope.
I didn't see it. I saw Big Boom AJ and the Rizzler Kid. That's what I saw. There's got to be balance. Because this was an opportunity to give Daniel Garcia a big moment and make Full Gear like a bigger event. This is where star-making performances are made, because what is the identity of their pay-per-views?
Their identity is great matches. Story doesn't fucking matter.
That's what I'm saying, bro. Like
literally, I'll give them this. There was one thing where the story seemed to matter, and all it's doing is leading to Jon Moxley's next opponent, which you could have flipped a coin whether they did a story at the end of the show or they just announce it on Dynamite this week. Like that, hey, this is Jon Moxley's next opponent.
Man, is there? So Moxley's the champ. You got who's the next up? Like, who is the next up that can step to him? Orange Cassidy, he lost. So who's next up? Like, are we working our way up the card? How's the Hurt Syndicate doing? How's the Hurt Syndicate doing?
Hurt Syndicate, right now a strong start, but at the same time, I think Bobby Lashley picked up a win over Swerve Strickland, which is important. Sure, but yeah. I feel I think Josh and I agree on this, that this match was too early, and they should have made Bobby Lashley a bigger deal, because Bobby Lashley
is a bigger deal.
He's not a small look. If you look at him, why you think he's been in the pro wrestling industry for so long? Why would he be okay, I'm gonna have this match to prove myself? No, I've been proving myself for 20 fucking years.
Yeah, exactly.
You have been an MMA champion. Yep. You're why the fuck do I have to prove myself in this fucking joke of a company? Have him be that heel. We're gonna be the business that raises the AEW elite business. That is what you can do, but you did not do that. You are not doing that. You're just gonna let me guess. I don't have to tune in. Let me guess what's gonna happen. I tune into AEW Dynamite. MVP is talking all that bad smack, which I know he can do well, but it's not gonna matter, because okay, well, you just showed your best card. It's why not have Shelton Benjamin? I get he's about the same age as Lashley, but it's you could have had him go up against Swerve Strickland instead, and let Swerve be this. What did you compare him to? New Jacks.
Yeah, you did.
You compared him to New Jacks. Okay, I can see that, because New Jacks, from what I've seen, he was a crazy mother. He was
crazy, bro.
And Swerve
still playing, bro. I love that.
Swerve's definitely missing more than a few screws.
Oh, Swerve can get to that level. We've seen it with his Hangman.
I can see it.
Yeah, the Hangman feud that showed us what Swerve is capable and willing to do for that next step. And I agree with you. Why are we not? We just heard in here in the chat, Ricky Starks was at GCW last night.
I saw that promo.
Why?
I didn't know that.
Why was he not on AEW doing something? What is going on there?
Hold on, bro. Did you see the promo?
No.
Wait. He cut a promo on GCW.
I didn't even know he was at GCW.
Brother, listen to me, brother. It was a GCW event that looked like, what was it? Was it WWF that ran in those malls or was it WCW that ran in the over in Minnesota, the Great American Mall or something like that?
Yeah, the Mall of America.
Yes, thank you. That's what it was. It was in a venue that was kind of like that. They were in a mall.
First WC Nitro.
Thank you, Bruzy. You were the man. Thank you, bro. So they were running in a venue kind of like that. It was dope. Hey, what's up? What is going on? What evening? What time is it there? My God.
He's British.
Oh, okay. Hey, thanks for joining us.
What's up, Boffman?
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for the raid too.
Yep.
Okay. So hang on. But GCW, he was on there and he was talking about, I'm 34 years old. I'm in the best shape of my life. I will not sit and let my career just be a footnote. I will not just sit and let the best years of my life be wasted away. I'm damn good and I deserve more. And it was like, oh shit, and the crowd was behind him. Bro, look up, watch the promo. Ricky Starks was talking his shit, bro. It was good, and like it. You guys got to see it. I think that you guys will like it if you saw it.
Yeah, I'll look that up after the show because
I found someone got his entrance and him coming down the escalator.
The escalator, yep. They were coming down. Bro, I'm telling you, you would have loved this voice because I'm telling you, bro, it was in a mall. The aesthetic was fire as fuck. Like GCW did something dope. I don't know. I wish I knew what show it was, like which GCW like episode it was and where it was, so I can give it its credit. But the aesthetic was wonderful, bro, and the promo was fire.
No, that's fantastic because we all did say back when we found out Ricky Starks was going to AEW, we all were excited about it because we did follow him in the indies, and we seen his talent and where he was going to, where he could eventually go. And then all of a sudden, like Bruzy said, right after that Edge segment in the ring, it just seemed like Ricky Starks was on a down. It just went down. It's almost like the gimmick was exposed, you know?
Yeah.
And can another more experienced talent in the big main light, can they recover from that? I could say, yeah. I mean, look at Christian and his WWE run. I mean, there was multiple times bigger guys than him, and name-wise, that's what I mean, were coming out there and cutting him down pretty deep in a promo, but he just kept coming back. So yes, is it possible, but not when you have Tony at the helm. And that's where I think all of these issues fall. They fall at the feet of Tony Khan, because I brought it up to you guys earlier in the show or before the show. Tony Khan, I went through his tweets, and last night he tweeted 3 times on an average collision. And I did my research. You are more than welcome to also. If you keep scrolling down, on an average Wednesday, Saturday night, Friday night, he's averaging anywhere from 8 to 10 tweets about the stuff going on. Yes, are they the generic tweets that he's probably got saved in his phone and he just inserts boop boop name? Yes, right. That's probably it. But that's still an effort. That's still you showing me that you still give a shit. And after last night, I'm not sure if Tony Khan still has it in him, because he only did 3 tweets and they were generic as hell. And only 2 of them were about specific matches. The other one was about the entire card. So why are we not getting that from him? Especially for this. Yes, I understand you're bringing in the main eyes because you picked the flavor of the month that week to put on your show, and that's fine if that's how you want to do it. But don't blow your consistency of promoting your stuff when you, like Bruzy said, it seems like he's not worried about guys like you and me and Grun, because he's not putting in that effort. Like, it blows my mind. So give us the company.
So here's the thing, bro. I'm looking here now because I just want to see, because what really is throwing me, honestly, and like once again, I get the I totally get the Big Boom AJ stuff, whatever. Did he take a picture with Daniel Garcia? No. Somebody, I hope he did. I just haven't seen it. Because like everything I'm hearing, I didn't watch the match, but everything I'm hearing buzzing around, because I know people who know Daniel Garcia, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, this ain't me saying, oh, I don't know him, you know what I'm saying? But I know people who know, and everything I'm hearing is that the match banged and he had a big moment. You know what I'm saying? So like,
he usually does.
But he won the, like, what? Okay, which one? This is another thing. The muddiness of the titles. Like, I understand WWE has a lot of titles. I get it. I would not argue with you on that. And also, you know, AEW has titles, but things are all muddied. Like, what's the prestige level between the International Championship and the TNT Championship? You know what I'm saying? Like, which one is more prestigious than the other? You know, you could tune in on a random Saturday or something like that and see the IWGP champion. What? Like, what are we doing? Like the AAA champion. It's just like there's just yes, Bruzy. Too many titles showing up everywhere. Once again, it's not about both companies have a lot of titles. I would not argue with you on that. If you think that that's the argument, listen to me. That's not it. They both have a lot of, but here's the thing, and here's the difference, Bruzy. Here's the difference between AEW and WWE is that WWE, when it's rare that you will see the titles go to a different brand. If you do, then it's something. This is big. This is something bigger. You know, if you see the NXT champion showing up on SmackDown, it means something. When I see the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion showing up on a Dynamite, I'm like, that's just a regular Wednesday night.
And that's the point.
That's the difference.
Tony Khan will say, "Oh, that what makes us special." Like, really? Because that promotion's over in Japan. Most American viewers, which is probably a considerable portion of your audience, maybe not all, maybe not major, but a considerable portion, it is not necessarily easy to access New Japan Pro Wrestling.
And it's not on their radar.
No, it's not. And that's the
on your average wrestling fan's point of view, where they look at wrestling, Japan wrestling, all the wrestling over there, even Mexico's wrestling, they do not even pay attention to it. The only time we paid attention to Europe is when they were doing the NXT over there. And then what they do, they cherry picked everybody they wanted and they brought them over here, which I don't mind. But why not keep that going? Because you know it's a honeypot. You know you can attract so many different. And yes, I know they're going with this indie thing with WWE. I get that. But I'm also seeing some of the prospects they're looking at, and I go, what makes that person different from this person I'm watching? Like an Isaiah Moore, for example. What makes this guy different? So I go through their matches. I start watching them. I look at the YouTube matches where they're like, this is the best match and it's got the most views. So I check it out. To me, it was a regular lackluster Isaiah Moore match. And I know that's because that's my field of vision. That's who I see in the indies. But it was also a lackluster Theo Storm match. It was a lackluster, like I can go on and on because I've seen that before. I know what it's doing. Give me something different. So hopefully with this program, it's going to breed things like that. We're going to get the best. We're going to get all of these different cultures coming in, because a lot of the wrestlers that are over in Europe, they put on great shows. I mean, Eric Dillinger was talking about how fantastic it was over there just to meet new, fresh talent that were doing something a little different and making it work. So it's there. We need it. AEW, though, why do we not know 2 days before, up until 2 days before, that you're hosting this event? Like, that to me baffles me. Yes, and we don't. Bruzy, you brought it up. It sounds like Howse didn't watch. I didn't watch it either, but Howse seen more clips than I did, and he's the one.
It's mainly clips, bro. It's mainly clips. Yeah,
and he brought this to our attention to talk about. If it was left up to me, I probably wouldn't have been talking to AEW today, just because that's how lackluster this whole thing was. When I only see 3 tweets from Tony Khan during a pay-per-view, I don't think anything's hitting.
That's the thing, bro. But like, here's the thing. I follow and they're friends. They're friends of the show. Like, I follow places like Dirt Sheet Radio and stuff, and they're big time AEW boosters.
Mm-hmm.
So I see a lot of that stuff. Once again, friends of the show, they love them some AEW, and that's cool. You know what I'm saying? But so I see a lot of that stuff. But yeah, once again, that's why I want to say it looks like the show was good. But like, The AEW boosters are promoting the show more than Tony Khan. This is facts, bro. This is facts.
Are 100.
Listen, bro. Dirt Sheet Radio, they love them some AEW, and they do a great job over there. Like up to date, every single thing that happens on AEW, boom, they are on it straight up. If anybody needs to be hired for AEW's production team, it's our friends over at Dirt Sheet Radio, because they be on top of it way more than Tony does, and that's just facts. Like, so that's how I saw all that stuff, and that's how I know the show looked like it was a fun and good show. But this is the problem that we're talking about. It seems like with them approaching this Max deal coming up, and they already announced that they're going to be having Fight for the Fallen on New Year's Day, their premiere show on Max. I'm going to be locking in for this. I'm going to be sitting down and really trying to, and it'll be a perfect opportunity. I'll be chilling out from the holidays, from the holiday rush and everything. Boom, boom, boom. I could sit down, chill, and watch this and see what they do and how they change towards Max, because it seems like that the roster is starting to flow a little bit and lock in a little bit. Tony needs to lock in too, or he's going to lose. He's going to lose the opportunity to make this Max deal something huge. You don't think WWE is going into this Netflix deal already like, oh, we're doing it in LA. We're doing it real big. You know big things are going to happen on this Netflix episode. They're already
talking about it. They drop it in shows. You hear about it. You hear them talk about it in interviews when it's brought up in press conferences.
Boom, 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 boom.
How many times did you hear? How many times do you hear about the Max deal besides the stupid hat interview?
That's what I'm saying.
Not that often. Once a month.
Maybe. You got to run this place like a business. I understand having fun with it. I get having fun with it.
One of your top draws' name is Maxwell.
Jacob.
It writes itself. MJF on Max. Maxwell finally making it to Max.
Oh
finally
my God.
Max with Max. That means something. What the fuck ever you? And then you have Mox.
He can have the Max logo on his ass, his trunks. Come on.
This is a layup. This is Mox Network Championship. See, I'm writing shit for you. Why am I not getting a goddamn check from Tony Khan?
Because here's the problem.
That's a layup.
You're not a pro wrestler from the 80s or 90s that has completely out of their prime. And hey, look, Chris Jericho, awesome career. Fantastic. Love him, respect him. He's not in his prime anymore. He can barely wrestle good enough.
You can just turn the page on Jericho. We've seen it. We've seen everything.
Unfortunately,
He's
yeah.
He's at the point, bro. He's at the point of the career I was saying Undertaker was like 5 years ago. I was like, I love you, Undertaker. I respect you. You're my favorite of all time. Please retire.
Turn the page.
Please retire. And he did. And now he has one of the most listened to podcasts. You don't know what's on the other side if you just say, you know what? I've done all I can do here. Let me pursue other interests. I never in a million fucking years thought the Undertaker, one of the most protective guys of the business, always kept it close to his chest, never said anything, would be one of the most prominent podcasts in professional wrestling. That blows my mind that that's a reality and facts right now.
Yeah.
The crazy crack dealer or outside the WWE shows, he didn't have that on his bingo card.
No, man. No, he didn't. And you know, it's funny because we find out things like Undertaker hates cucumbers. We'll lose
just little weird things about him
if he sees cucumbers. That's awesome. I love that we found that out. And that's what I'm saying with Jericho. Yes, you've done great things. We have watched you. You beat Stone Cold and The Rock in one night. You are the man.
That'll never be duplicated.
Yeah.
No. We have sat under your tree for so long. It is now time for you to get out of the limelight, go produce these matches, put your name out that way, do the podcasting at a higher element than what you already do, put full production into your cruises, I that's where I'm at with Jericho.
So let me. I wanted to add this. Do you think that you would have respected Triple H more if he was still wrestling today, even through his heart attack?
No.
I wouldn't respect him as much as I respect him now. I
No,
respect
that
him so
man-
much because he respectfully stepped aside and started investing in the next generation. This is the new Triple H, Paul Levesque, who is now on the new chapter of his career. Jericho, I respect you. I love you. I've enjoyed your career for so many years. Turn the page.
Imagine him and Tony going at each other in that type of, like, you bring Jericho as a guy who wants to bring wrestling and the storytelling back to AEW, and you pit him against Tony Khan, and then them getting one show on Wednesday, the other one getting the Saturday show, and then they just battle with each other. Like,
I love the idea of Chris Jericho as an authority figure.
Yeah.
I think one is needed.
Him coming out with the bat, you know, just doing Jericho shit, but without being in a fucking ring.
Yeah, like smooth stories along like we know you can do. We know we can do it.
Exactly.
And we also understand that Jericho's in-ring presence wasn't needed for first 4 or 5 years. It was.
Yeah,
like we're not going to deny that. Yeah, but yeah, like this is a good time to if you like. There's nothing wrong with having Jericho as an on-screen character, just not an on-screen wrestler. That's it.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that, Grum?
Jericho wanted the best six-pack in the business.
Yeah. You agree with that?
No.
No. It's more like a pony cake now.
One thing about Jericho is he's gonna take his shirt off and take a picture of himself in front of that camera, bro.
Yeah.
Dude,
he's hitting that send button on that picture, bro. He don't care.
He was his small role in Terrifier 3. It wasn't that bad.
Really?
He can act.
Okay. Nah, Jericho. Here's the thing. This ain't me. Like, y'all listeners out there, we don't hate Jericho, man. It's just like I would be saying. I said the same thing about Flair. I've said the same thing about Taker. It's not. It just when it feels like it's time, and it's like, bro, like you need to gracefully look at guys like Triple H. Boom, he stepped aside, and now he's in control of, pretty much in control of all creative things in the company. Look at Shawn Michaels. He stepped aside and doing great work with NXT.
Finley back in the day when he stepped aside, producing fantastic matches that we grew to absolutely love. It's possible, and Jericho is the talent to be able to do that in transition. I know you know that, Howse.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He could do that great. I mean, look at another guy, MVP. MVP took a step down, and now he's focusing so hard. He's focused. I respect what MVP is doing, because he's focusing so hard on his faction that he when they didn't see the vision in one promotion, he just brought the entire team to another promotion. Like, let's run it and see what we can do. I respect that. As somebody who's had to do that before, I respect that and know how hard it is to try to get work. For those guys when you're trying to stay together and tell a specific story with a specific faction, which is exactly why I'm excited for what the Hurt Syndicate can do and can become with AEW, because we know what the big thing is, and this is the whole story of this whole segment before we wrap all this up in a nice little bow, is that we were worried that Tony would ruin the Hurt Syndicate, but I think we're on agreement that MVP has worked so hard for this stable that MVP is not going to let that happen.
That's my hope, and I really, that's where I'm putting my bet on, is that he's going to protect it enough to know when to, not listen to what is being told, because the only reason I'm fearful of it is because we seen it last night with Tony bringing in all these one-hit wonders for the moment. If he sees that the Hurt Syndicate actually does get the traction that we know it can get, I have a feeling he's going to try to dig his fingers into it, and we need MVP to stand strong on this, because we know what this vision can do. And for AEW, I'm telling you right now, If you leave the Hurt Syndicate alone and you let them do what they know what to do because they were at the main stage, you're going to have huge results. Back off, let them do it. Let them show you why you're paying them the money you're paying them to be in your promotion. And that's where I'm going to leave it with that.
For sure. No, I agree with you. That's a really good point. Just a real good cap off for that's exactly what we were talking about, OG Tony. We didn't get a chance to watch it, but we talked a little bit about it, and that's just a good little cap off because we're going to be taking a break here in a second. Before we do, Grun, I know you've been keeping tabs on that WWE ID situation. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Voice did. And we've been seeing a lot of different interesting names pop up that are now affiliating themselves with WWE ID. A really interesting name popped up, and Grun wanted to talk about it. Who was it, Grun? Who'd you have on there?
Well, this woman, she started her career as an adult actually doing stunts for the Divergent film, and for the same. Yeah, and for the TV series Shameless.
Oh wow!
If you know that, she made her pro wrestling debut in Reality of Wrestling. Booker T's school, and would eventually get a tryout in WWE. At this point, maybe you might know who I'm talking about. Kylie Ray is now signed. She has a chance to get back into WWE after a controversial departure from AEW, you will say, a stint in Impact Wrestling, then moving over to National Wrestling Alliance, and then just over the last, I believe it was last weekend, she was gifted a contract to WWE ID.
Wow, that's incredible. That's a great story.
We could seriously. Be seeing that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just going to say. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying she's been through a lot. Like that's the point that I was trying to make. Is like she'd been through a lot. Like she almost quit wrestling because of mental health and stuff like that. And then the stuff with AEW, where the guy we mentioned before, Chris Jericho, was not making her feel comfortable at all, and it was a tough situation. So like I'm happy to see that not only she didn't retire from wrestling, but now she's finding that spark again and trying to find her way back to the WWE. Go ahead, Voice. I'm sorry.
I was just going to say, this is Naomi, second coming. This is proving that you get opportunities, and when you get those opportunities, it's what you decide. Because yes, are there factors that helped with her departure? Of course there are, and that's horrible. But she didn't let that take over. She knew she wanted to do something. She did it. There's a need for her. People are seeing that. WWE seeing it by gifting her this contract. And now we're seeing her take control of her destiny. She's becoming what she wants to. She's showing what she was paid to do at one point. She's still worth that. So fantastic.
Still very young too. Very young.
Young.
She's only 32.
Yeah, and in this business, that might seem like a little bit, but
there's people wrestling, like having competitive matches well into. Look at Bobby Lashley. Look at AJ Styles.
Yeah.
You know, there's people who are having competitive matches well into their 40s. She's got plenty of time.
And all you have to do is you have to find the right workout regimen, the right diet.
Yep.
Like even Jericho. Like yes, he's in his 50s, but it's like in the early days of AEW, he was in his late 40s, early 50s, and he was wrestling really well.
He really was. That's fact.
I hope I look that good at 50.
For real, seriously, seriously. So congratulations to her. Like I said, she's been through a lot in this wrestling game. So it's really great to see her get something so awesome and just like get back out there again, and maybe we could see her on NXT doing something. I hope so. That'll be great, man. But listen, guys, we got to go on the WWE side of things. We got to talk about SmackDown because we have Survivor Series that is coming up leading to the big house party. And guys, we're going to talk a little bit about that house party on the other side of this break. Of course, we got some great ads that talk about the house party as well. We're going to play those, but we got to talk a little SmackDown as well because this was a great episode leading to Survivor Series. And we're going to talk about all those things on the other side of this break.
Hello, everyone. It's the Pope Elijah Burke, founder and president of the Love Alive charity. I wanted to take this brief moment to share with you my charity's continued humanitarian efforts to positively impact the impoverished communities in and around the greater Jacksonville area. This cannot be possible without your support. If you'd be so kind, please take a moment to visit our website, love-alive.org, to learn more about the charity and its mission. Also, feel free to donate to our 501c3 organization that operates off of the donation of the public, which is you. Whether that be by website or via Cash App, $1 help makes a difference in the lives of others as we continue to positively influence many people by being the change that we wish to see in the world.
What is up, guys? What is cracking? It is pro wrestling manager, commentator, podcaster, and executive producer of the In Your House Wrestling Podcast, the Con Man, Alakanda Concept House, and I'm in your house to tell you about an amazing event that we're doing November 30th over in Kokomo, Indiana at Outhouse Records. Guys, it is going to be our first ever live In Your House party. It's going to be a movie, ladies and gentlemen. So much things going on. Live bands, and they're going to be playing your favorite wrestling themes. We're going to have wrestlers, costume contests, games that you can win prizes. So many awesome prizes, over $1,000 worth of prizes. Come out and raffle for a chance to win some of these excellent prizes. And hey, I got a little bit of a sneak preview for you guys of what that you guys could win. And one of those things is AEW World Heavyweight Champion Jon Moxley. Look at that awesome figure. But ladies and gentlemen, that's not it. You're going to see him competing in War Games against the Bloodline 2.0. That's the tribal chief himself, Roman Reigns. Another great prize that you could win if you come in. Get some tickets to raffle, and you could be getting some awesome prizes, such as what I just showed you, and so much more. Once again, we're going to be doing our first ever live podcast where we're going to be giving you our predictions for Survivor Series War Games, and it's going to be myself, the hometown hero, master of ceremonies, Hypocrisy Jones, our game master, the voice, Josh Joseph, the amazing Divinely Designed Danny O'Neill, and of course, the Chaos Goblin himself, Kevin Calloway. Come and join us as we're going to be having an awesome time right before Survivor Series War Games. We're going to be talking wrestling, giving away prizes, playing wrestling themes. Guys, you need to hop on this bandwagon. Get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. Ladies and gentlemen, we will see you November 30th for the In Your House party. Peace.
In your house with O'Con. Hey, O'Con in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds.
Exciting things are happening at the Kokomo Press. Yeah, very exciting things. Not only are we bringing you comedy shows, an open mic once a week, skits, videos, funny jokes on our page, and satire news stories, but now you can support us by going to kokomopress.shop. It's that simple. You go to kokomopress.shop, you find a t-shirt, you find a hat, maybe in the future some stickers and some posters. You go on there, you buy one of those from us, and percentage of the proceeds will go to us and help support what we do. We appreciate every person who just likes, subscribes, does all that. But if you go to kokomopress.shop and you buy something, we'll know who you are. You send us a photo of it. We will post it on our page and shout it out. Thank you so much. Go to kokomopress.shop, buy all your shirts and hats needs, and support the Kokomo Press. Thank you guys so much. kokomopress.shop.
And then when I catch you, I'll tickle you. Yeah, I'll tickle you. Yeah, because I just can't stand you. Oh.
Hey, Barry?
Hey, Jordan.
Hey, man, what are you doing?
I'm practicing for the pipe bomb challenge.
Oh, the pipe bomb challenge at the In Your House house party at Howse Records, right?
Can I get some privacy, guys?
Oh, my bad, fam. Yo, Barry,
sorry.
let's go out here.
All right.
Yeah. Hey, so Barry, promos might not be your thing, but that's okay. We got other games that we're gonna have. So, like, can you draw?
I can draw a fly.
Do you mean flies?
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. It's okay. How about wrestling trivia?
I know Nick Fleur. Whee!
I don't think that's his name, or never mind. It's okay. How about, do you listen to podcasts?
Yeah.
Well, you're in luck because the In Your House podcast is going to be hosting their first live podcast right here at Howse Records.
Right here?
Right here, bro.
How much?
Bro, it's only $5.
I have $5.
That's what's up.
I have a cash register.
Yeah, that $5, it gets you in, and it gets you a chance to win other prizes like this. Wow. Isn't that cool? Wow. I know, right?
Friday, November 30th, In Your House presents the In Your House House Party, live at Howse Records. Come hang out with pro wrestlers, play games, win prizes, plus special appearances by the Chaos Goblin Kevin Calloway, Relentless Ray Larson. All ages welcome. Howse Records, 109 East Sycamore Street in downtown Kokomo.
Hey guys, welcome back to In Your House. And you guys saw what was going on. I got to be honest, we only got like one more week of that episode or that commercial with him and the puppet, hype and the puppet, and I'm sad we only got one more week with that because that shit.
Yeah, that sucks.
Me,
Yeah.
That
Hopefully we can get a new one with just us and the puppet, since we'll all be together.
Exactly. Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. But we got to talk about that awesome event being the house party going down November 30th. And that is at Howse Records in Kokomo, Indiana. All ages are welcome, man. This is going to be great. We're putting a lot of things together for you guys. We're going to have Grun there in spirit. We're going to have P there in spirit. It's going to be great, man. Voice, I know you got some plans for this, man. You're putting some stuff together.
Oh, I have been. We got the pipe bomb challenge, as you've seen the puppet preparing for. That's honestly, that's going to be a debate challenge where we're going to give you guys are going to draw out of a hat, what have you, and it's going to be a scenario. So it might be, let's just say, for easy sake, the Brett versus Shawn Michaels, who screwed who. So somebody's going to have pro Brett and somebody's going to have pro Shawn. So they're going to debate, and then the crowd picks the winner on that one. And I think we'll have Annie and I think Kevin and possibly Courtney sitting there judging on that too. So they'll probably be final decision on that. We also have Can You Draw? So I took a little bit of Pictionary and a little trivia and things like that. So let's just say, for an example, you pull out of the hat Madison Square Garden. How are you going to draw Madison Square Garden to wrestling fans for them to understand that? You get it, man? We probably got a prize for you. We got something for you, but that's going to be a fun thing. I think games like that really bring like large groups together, and it's a lot of fun. Now, the big game that a lot of us are looking forward to is Woo or Dab. Now, you may be asking yourself, what is this? This is a trivia game. So basically, we're going to say the question. If you think you can get this right, you're going to say, yeah. But if you get that wrong, you're getting some hot sauce put on that tongue, probably in a Cheez-It form. It's going to be on a Cheez-It. And then you got to wait your next turn to be able to answer again. So people might be getting points over you. You could fall behind if you don't woo in first. Yes, that is in fact where we get the woo part. To answer the question, you got to give a woo in the form of Ric Flair. But here's the thing. Best woo of the night, you're going to get one of my personal collected autograph 8x10s. I'm not going to tell you which one now. You got to show up to the show and see which one you're going to get, but I guarantee you, it's going to be right up your alley if you're a wrestling fan. So come join the Voice IYH out there at Outhouse Records in Kokomo, Indiana on November 30th. Play some games with us. We got so much more going on. There's going to be trivia throughout the night. I heard some rumors that we might have some of those questions coming in video form by a certain dangerous podcaster.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, that's already set in motion.
Awesome. So yeah, we got a lot going on. So come join us. Come see what we can do. We are going to be changing the live event game. It's going to happen. So get used to it. And Kokomo is going to be the first place to go. Outhouse Records. It's going to be a blast.
Yes, sir. It is going to be great. I'm super excited about it. So excited, man, because we're leading into a big Survivor Series. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, you guys are going to be out there. This would normally be the episode where we would come together and we would give our predictions for Survivor Series, because this is our last Sunday house party before the show. But since this is now not the last Sunday house party before the show, the last Sunday house party before the show goes down right before the show, November 30th, right there in Kokomo, Indiana. We're saving all of our predictions for that show right there. So here, another thing I want to play with, another thing I want to do is, because I know I got it planned for us to do a That's True, That Might Be True, That's Ridiculous for November 30th. And I kind of wanted to get a little warmed up with a little SmackDown edition of That's True, That Might Be True, That's Ridiculous, because this was a good episode of SmackDown. And when we talk SmackDown, we got to talk about the man who covers SmackDown. He covers it in his room. Grunmeister, what did you think about this episode of SmackDown overall?
Overall, I thought the SmackDown was good. It moved pieces towards Survivor Series, made me feel a bit more confident about the show, because I'm not gonna lie, the women's War Games match, like, here's my concern.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of put together rather quickly, but they were teasing it for weeks. But between Raw and SmackDown, like, they're making it interesting. They
are.
And it's like, that's what they got to do. They got to make it interesting, because the men's War Games match is going to be it's probably going to be the main event. And so, so like, it's going to be a big match. So, like, all right, women's War Games, like, all they got to do is put out a great match, and fans won't care if it's better or worse than the men's. And they definitely made some interesting moves that changes up the match a little bit.
Yeah, I'm excited for what we're going to see at Survivor Series War Games. Once again, this was a really good SmackDown where not only were stories moved along, where we saw the bloodline and everything they've got going down and everything that we've seen. There's also some lightweight storylines going down. Not really lightweight, but like, the thing is, we saw Jade Cargill get killed. Like, she had her leg out. She looked like a Family Guy character the way she was on that car. So like, that was crazy. You know what I'm talking about? Peter Griffin falling down the stairs and he's like arm behind his back and whatnot. That was her. Like, I was like, and I even said to I think I even said in the chat, I was like, who's making Jade Cargill roadkill?
Yeah.
Because that's exactly like the way. So like, okay, I want to talk about that. And then I do have some That's True, That Might Be True, That's Ridiculous questions. But I guess I got to ask, Grun, you saw that part there.
I did.
What did you think? What did you think when you saw it? And early speculation on who might have done it?
My early speculation on who did it is, so I'm first thinking like it must have been Liv and Raquel, but they hit it this time. They didn't show us who did it, so they could be leading us to Bailey did it. But at the same time, I'm thinking, nah, I don't think Bailey did it. As far as who actually did, I could buy Lash Legend maybe doing it, trying to get herself in, try and get her and Jakara Jackson a little bit more attention. Jade comes back like, yo, bitch, why the fuck you did that to me? Lash just be like this is business, bitch. This is business. I'm looking for an opportunity.
I love it. That's an interesting. I actually fooled around with the thought: what if it happened? What if she was there for a while? What if it was Bianca Belair?
I could buy that. I could definitely buy that. It being Bianca, and maybe Jade says, "Nah, I was attacked from behind. I didn't see who did it." And
so, did somebody hit her with the car, or did she get pushed off the ledge onto the car?
My guess is that it looked like she got knocked off the ledge onto the car. Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, who could it have been?
Could have been Bianca.
What if what if it was Charlotte Flair?
That's a good one too.
That would definitely be a good one. Definitely Charlotte being jealous that there's another woman who's and not just another woman, but a woman who's being protected and being pushed to be a major player in the women's division. Nah, Charlotte's gonna be like, no, this is my division, mine. I am the queen. You will bow down, you stupid little bitch.
We got Urban Grun and Valley Girl Grun in one episode. This is getting some
This needs to go down in the archives.
I will say you guys have picked 2 out of the 3 of my choices.
Okay.
So I would say yes, Bianca could have had a hand in it. Charlotte could have had a hand in it. We are waiting for her to come back, and it seems like her progression has gotten way better. So that could be at any moment. But there's one particular female that I feel I've been saying is willing to do anything she possibly can to get that title again. No matter what it be, no matter how, as long as the name rings true and it's Naomi walking through, glowing, taking out competitors, because a little bit of her limelight got stolen away when Jade made her entrance, and Jade has taken this I don't know, this arrogance to where she thinks she's in line for a singles title. Honestly, Jade, what have you proven in your singles runs? You really haven't had one. You've been with Bianca this whole time. And when you're alone, it seems like you get thrown off of places into cars. So how powerful are you? These are just questions that are going to be answered. And I think if I'm going and putting money, I think Naomi did it.
Ooh.
I think this is where we see the dark Naomi turn, and you're going to see Dark Bailey go with her, and this is going to be something. This is going to be something great. We're about to see some really cool Naomi movement, and this is my personal opinion, so I could be wrong.
Oh yeah, for sure. But we're speculating, bro. This is what we're supposed to do.
Exactly. But I think that's where we're going, and I think Survivor Series is going to prove that. Whoever did it is going to shine. They're going to come out. If it's Bianca, you're going to see Bianca. If it's Naomi, you're going to see a turn from Naomi in some form or fashion.
Yeah, I like that. I think that's really interesting, man. That's a really interesting thought. Wow, that's good, because Naomi, her taking that next step in her, because we already know she's main eventing shows, she's in title matches. And if we see her just take that tweak, that could really take her to another portion of her career where she's going to have another big run. Remember, this is a lady who's won the women's championship at WrestleMania. She's had WrestleMania moments. She's got a storied career outside of WWE with that great run with TNA that she had. I mean, it's
a huge fan base.
Oh, yeah.
She's just growing in the fans' eyes too. So why not give the fans this big meaty villain Naomi by taking out somebody who they thought was next in line to at least challenge.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, no, that's a really good point.
So I was able to find two things about one about Survivor Series, one about next week's Triple Threat Women's United States Championship Triple Threat match.
Okay.
Jade Cargill, who was supposed to be in the match, is being replaced by Lash Legend.
Oh,
so this is big. I'm definitely a fan. I love it. But at Survivor Series, Bailey is taking her place.
So there you go.
Oh my gosh.
But they could have nothing to do with it.
Absolutely.
They could just be taking an opportunity. And that's where you get the swerve. Did they take the opportunity or did they create the opportunity? And
that's huge. That's massive. Yeah. Massive. Did they take the opportunity just because it was there? Do they create it for themselves? And that stories, bro, this is why stories are important. Exactly. And that we're even having this conversation about the women's division, about a women's tag team champion, one of the biggest stories happening on SmackDown. Story. It matters. It matters. And on the flip side of things, because this is where I bring in my first that's true, that might be true, that's ridiculous question. In the heat of all that stuff happening, fellas, Chelsea Green won her match and moved on in this tournament. So my question is this: Chelsea Green will become the first ever Women's United States champion. That's true. That might be true. That's ridiculous. Grunt, I see you chomping at the bit. I'll let you go ahead and go first.
You know what? I'm putting my eggs in this basket. That's true. I think it's Chelsea's time. I think this is a good title to give Chelsea. And you know what? Like, I think this is where they're gonna really show people, like, hey, she can go in the ring.
Yeah,
she's not just looking for sneaky opportunities.
No, she can definitely go. She's a force. I don't know if you guys seen, but I think she put out on her Twitter account, or it might have been her Facebook. She was on a plane, and the captain got over the intercom and announced her as the
I did see that.
Yeah, and she's all like, "Oh!" So I mean, there's awesome. A lot. She is awesome. She knows exactly what we talk about all the time, Howse, and that's when you get that opportunity, making those 5 minutes worth something, making it memorable for guys like us to sit here and talk about it. And Chelsea Green's doing that. She's doing just that, and so is Tiffany Stratton. These women in this division right now are not only captivating with what they can do in the ring, but their promo work is captivating. The stories that are being told. I mean, I just heard not weeks ago, Jade, that people saying Jade doesn't know how to carry a story. She's stiff on the mic. She's not fluid like Bianca and all this stuff. And now she's one of the biggest stories going in SmackDown going forward. And yes, I know she's not doing anything. She just laid on a car windshield. Totally get that. But
even that could be done cheesy.
Exactly. And it wasn't. It was believable. And plus, I mean, think about it. You have Jade Cargill getting thrown into a windshield, okay? What size of force did it take to move that object? She's a woman of large stature, muscular. She can hold her own. So that kind of leads you to a Charlotte Flair possibility. Mm-hmm. But getting back to it, I think that might be true. I see what Chelsea Green can do, but there are other women in the tournament in itself that could go and could win. And the pop that you might get from Chelsea not winning could be bigger than the pop you get from her winning and lead to a bigger event to where maybe she's the first one to take the title off the very first champion. You know what I mean? There's a possibility out there. But I could see it happening. I could see her being number one and it wouldn't bug me one bit. I would actually celebrate that and the work she's done to get to that moment.
Absolutely, absolutely. I listen. One thing I noticed, and I was on the phone. I was actually on the phone with P when it happened because I was watching SmackDown this morning, and it stopped me when she made that pin. When Chelsea Green made that pin, the pop was heavy. Like people were like popped heavy for. I was like, uh oh, it's happening. It's happening.
Yeah.
Like I see it, and like that's why I want to say that's true, but I'm gonna say that might be true just because there's still that element out there, and I know me and you talked about it real like in a big way. Their voice. Let's just say for a second, Naomi's not the one who pushed who pushed Jade into the windshield. There's still that huge possibility where she could be the one to be that first women's United States champion, running around, you know, with the glow, with the red, white, and blue glow, and representing and just being that you know, that beacon of hard work can get you to opportunities where you can make history, you know, and she can be that. And then once again, like you said, I would definitely, without a shadow of a doubt, Chelsea would be the person to take the title off of her. But yeah, I still think that there's a reality where that could happen.
With you saying that, I know we talked about it before, but here's what I'm thinking now, because let's say that she did do that, because Jade was still in contention for that title also.
She was, yeah.
So she could have done that, and she gets that opportunity, or that roadblock is taken out of her path. So
yeah,
she gets there, she gets the red, white, and blue glow. She does all those things, has that title, and then she looks at the hard cam and she goes, you know what? You're right. I am this red, white, and blue. I'm through and through because I take opportunities like America does. And when I do, I conquer them. Just like when I threw Jade over that balcony and right into the car. I knew this was my time, and I wasn't going to let somebody who came in. And then you have the Jade and Naomi feud of a lifetime. And we get to understand why Jade is a impactful woman's competitor in the ring, and why she should be a commanding force. I think that is the way to go. And then you get Chelsea Green mixed in there because she's like, hey, I've been working my ass off. Did you hear when I won my matches? Did you hear that pop? And then boom, you got a great story that could flow all three of these into astronomical views of the audience, into fans. Everyday living rooms will have all three of these women's names in it, and I think it would be fantastic.
Yeah, I listen. SmackDown with what they're doing with the women's stories, and it's sprinkling into Raw too because we're leading up to Survivor Series. I'm just loving it. Like I was with you grunting a little bit. I was like, it's a little touch and go. It feels rushed. But once things started sprinkling together and they started making it make sense why these women would align with each other and why they have to align with each other for the greater good, at least for now, you know, and trying to make it work for War Games. And I get it. And we saw that on the men's side too, which was, oh my gosh, like I said, this show, now that I'm really breaking the show down and thinking about it, there was a lot of good moving parts between the show and great things that happened on one side and on the other. And of course, on the end, we're going to talk about it. CM Punk returns, the Wise Man returns, just great. I mean, that was great TV. That was great TV. And even Punk, like not having a mic, but he was saying it to me, he was like, I'm here for him, pointing at the Wise Man, Paul Heyman, and Heyman looking like a proud dad. Like, look, I came in clutch. You know, I know you guys don't mess with each other, but you guys are gonna have to mess with each other for this particular occasion. The story is good. It's all good. Bronson Reed coming in and doing his thing makes sense. He's of Samoan heritage, so of course he's going to come in. He wants to put his name more on the map, and he's going to do that by aligning himself with the bloodline. All this stuff is just twisted and turning into something great that's going to be leading to Survivor Series War Games, man. So, Voice, you've seen it. You've seen the return. CM Punk comes back. The Wise Man comes back and just makes the massive save. He looks great, looking like $1 million. You know, because last time we saw him, he was looking stressed out because Solo wasn't listening to him. What are you thinking, man, about this big return and what we're leading to for War Games?
Well, I think it's fantastic, but I want to preface this with what I'm about to say. Do not take offense to it, wrestling fans, because I agree with you. This is all real to me. The people who say that this is just scripted, just unreal stuff, that's fine. You can say that. But then why aren't moments like this with Paul Heyman making his entrance getting Oscars? Why are they not getting televised Emmys and things like that? Because this was perfection in a package in which that is Paul Heyman, and it arrived just in time for our holiday seasons because Paul Heyman was the only man to give the actual ammunition to Roman Reigns to win. And Paul is the only one Roman is going to listen to when he is handed that ammunition. Nobody else. No, I respect everybody around Roman. They are some of my favorites in this industry, but you are not the wise man. Paul Heyman, you could take Paul Heyman right now and transfer him over to this new bloodline, and he could make any one of those guys a champion within the next 3 to 4 months. Because there's
the greatest of all fucking time.
Exactly. And there's a reason why he is the actual GOAT of managers, of story writing. We witness it every Friday. Those were his stories, and they are so captivating. We've seen the stories, we've heard about the stories, but we're still watching it every week because we love it. And that's where I'm at right now with what they're doing. This was fantastic. CM Punk, when his music hit, fans lost their minds. They knew the wise man. Not only did you get the wise man first, let's call that, the fans went nuts because we were expecting it and they gave it to us. And then on top of that, he brings out CM Punk, and everybody, it's like the puzzle was just finished. Everybody could take that breath, and they know what's going up against this new bloodline, and they know that it's dangerous because the wise man is there educating everybody in that ring. So the new bloodline, you need to be shitting your pants. Jacob, you need to be saying extra prayers because this is going to be violent.
Yes. I'm excited, man. I'm excited for what we are about to see. Man, listen, Punk coming in, that's crazy because I just thought about it. We had Zay on here a few weeks ago.
Yes.
And my son, you guys who listen, you guys out there who listen a lot, you guys know, I've heard him on the show quite a few times before. He called CM Punk being the 5th member.
Wise man Zay. He's our wise man. We need to start calling him it. He's the young prodigy, crazy. Man. The apple did not fall far from the tree. That was crazy because we all kind of were like, well, I mean, but he's seen it. He's seen the vision.
He did. What a kid.
Yeah.
That's crazy stuff. That is crazy stuff. But
we're gonna have to make wise man shit for Zay.
Yeah, for sure. He's the wise man for sure. But man, it fits. It fits. It makes sense why he would come and do this. Remember, last time we saw Paul Heyman, he was getting put through a table by Solo and the new bloodline. CM Punk's not gonna let that slide. No. He's not gonna let that slide. So it's got nothing to do with Roman or his bloodline or anything like that. He's doing it to avenge who he said himself is also his wise man. And listen, Paul Heyman, like you said, we watch this man, his work every Friday. We don't see him on the show, but we're watching his work, and you know the inspiration that man has had on my personal pro wrestling career and my journey as a pro wrestling personality. Man, seeing him again just lit up my life because I was like, man, I'm loving everything that's going on, like Roman coming back, but being that big Paul Heyman guy that I am, I was like, man, when's Paul coming back? So when we heard "ladies and gentlemen" and the pop that hopped up, and all, of course he's gonna get a massive pop because he's the GOAT. And he comes out and he's looking great, looking like $1 million. It's awesome. But I want to bring this up too because I've studied Heyman for a long time. And I was looking at his attire when he came out. And it was very reminiscent to a suit that we've seen worn and still being worn many weeks by Solo Sikoa.
I knew you were going to pick up on that.
Yep. Is there a chance? Hold on. What, here we go. I got it. This is about to be a good one. Paul Heyman turns on Roman Reigns and becomes the wise man to the new bloodline. That's true. That might be true. Or that's ridiculous. Grun, you went first last time. I'm going to give it to Voice this time.
That's true.
What? That confident?
I'm going to say this because that's exactly why I said what I said, where Paul Heyman can take any one of those bloodline members and make them a champion. Paul Heyman, yes, he may be your wise man for Roman Reigns. He may be your wise man for CM Punk, but he's been there. He's done that. We all know Paul Heyman likes to conquer things. We're missing out on another guy who was his wise man, Brock Lesnar. So why not look for the new blood? That's old blood. He can make champions. His legacy is going to continue because that's what Paul Heyman does. And you're about to see the Paul Heyman turn, just much like you've seen with the CM Punk when him and CM Punk connected. There's always a thing behind Paul Heyman, and that's motivation to be the best, to be the GOAT, to have the best, to make sure that the best is donned with a title. And right now, it looks like that this young bloodline is hungrier. They're more vicious. They're ready to do things that this old bloodline has to be coerced into doing. They need a wise man to make a decision for that fifth member, as opposed to them already having a fifth member. And then when we witness Solo and the new bloodline acknowledge Paul Heyman in that middle of that ring, Grun, I want you to remember your eyes being closed right now and all your hopes and dreams being crushed, because that is what is exactly going to happen at Survivor Series. I'm sorry that I gave my prediction away, Howse, but that's what I'm saying. You just put out there is 100% true and going to happen.
Oh my gosh, Grun, what do you think, man?
That's ridiculous.
Okay, I love it.
I hear what you're saying is, yeah, Paul Heyman is no stranger to dealing with making deals with the devil and being the devil himself. He is no stranger to that. But I don't think Paul Heyman can look at this and think that he can be the wise man to Solo Sikoa just because he has the Ulafala. Now Solo may have gotten pins on Roman Reigns, but Solo was not selected by the elders. Solo Sikoa did not prove that he earned the Ulafala. He took it for himself. Roman Reigns, he waited until the elders deemed him worthy of carrying it, worthy of wearing it. And it's Solo, he just wants and takes. And that is why he is the spoiled brat of this Samoan dynasty. He has been given all these tools, all these opportunities, but he has earned nothing.
You're totes adorbs. I don't think you understand Paul Heyman and his want to be the GOAT, the greatest. He is that now.
I don't think he has nothing left to prove.
You may think that, but you're not Paul Heyman. We have seen Paul Heyman take a title and put it on Mike Awesome. Why? Do you even know about Mike Awesome, Grun?
Not much, no.
Well, if you were watching ECW back in the day, you would have been like, what the fuck is he doing?
He was like a car wrestler, bro. Like you maxed out all the stats. It was ridiculous. And then they made him the fat chick thriller in WC.
Exactly. And then it was taken away. He is willing to go the lengths to have his legacy continue. And just like Howse said, he dropped a little hint. Did you pick up the breadcrumb? Why would Paul Heyman switch up his attire?
I saw his attire, but I was thinking now Roman's gear, the bloodline's gear has always been black and red. Always.
And Paul Heyman has always been in a suit, tie, collared shirt.
Stripes.
Yes.
Never changes. Never changes.
Roman Reigns, and what is he wearing? He's wearing black and red. What is his squad wearing? Black and red.
What does Solo show up in?
Black and red.
Smaller size suit that Paul
looks
Heyman
just
was wearing.
like it. So I'm gonna
identical.
I love the fact that you guys are so like on the different side of this. This is why I love this game, and for that reason, I'm going to say that might be true. And the reason that I say that, yeah, I'm going in the middle. And the reason I say that is because, listen, I would love to see a reality where we see that devious bastard that Paul Heyman can be. We've seen him turn his back on his best friend at CM Punk. You know, we saw him turn on Brock Lesnar. We've seen it. Listen, we've seen it for years. This is one man that when the chips are down, he will turn on you. And I think that there is a great possibility of seeing him elevate talent within the new bloodline. Like let's talk about the trajectory of Bronson Reed. Do you know the trajectory of Bronson Reed and how far it would go if he had Paul fucking Heyman walking behind him on his way to the ring? Bronson Reed's worth would go through the roof. Jacob Fatu, who's already looked at as a top prospect, and you have fucking Paul Heyman flanking him in his ear. His prospects are going to go through the roof. Even Solo, same thing. Solo had a brief stint with him when Roman was off TV, and we saw Solo being flanked by Paul Heyman, the wise man. The only thing that I see here, the only thing that would go against it as far as him turning on Roman Reigns is, why would he go through the trouble of bringing in CM Punk if he was just going to turn on him? So that's one aspect that I think of when it comes to my mind. Like, why even pull him out to do that? So that's one thing. And then the fact that, you know, you can see that OG bloodline vibe and everything, and we can possibly see Paul Heyman continue to manage CM Punk through his career. So it's just, where do you want to see it at? Do you want to see him go with the old band, or do you want to see him do his thing with the new band? And it's really going to be interesting to see where it goes. That's going to be one of the biggest stories going into Survivor Series, I believe.
Yeah, I think so too. Honestly, this is lining up way too much like a Heyman swerve, because, and like you said, why bring CM Punk back? We've seen Heyman shoot when he does those interviews on stage with people, because he fucking can. Just because he wants to stick that knife in the back one more time, and to make sure CM Punk knows, I'm not your friend. I've used you. We're done. We're over. Now go up against Jacob Fatu. Now you got to go against this monster. A man I have to tell, calm down. Have you ever told a man to calm down before he's going into combat, CM Punk? I have, just so you can survive and you can see another day. Your little dog can go on another walk. I'm just thinking where we can go with the wise man. And I think it would be so beneficial in Solo's forward momentum if he comes to the realization that he does need the wise man.
You
Go ahead, Howse. You take it over.
I'm sorry. Because that was literally what I was gonna say when you was done, is that to make this believable, to make Paul Heyman turning on Roman Reigns and aligning himself with the new bloodline believable, Solo Sikoa has to come to the realization that he has to respect Paul Heyman. Because why would Paul Heyman turn? Why would Paul Heyman turn on Roman Reigns just to get abused by Solo again? It doesn't make sense.
No.
And wouldn't it be in line with a crazy person like Solo for him to say to Paul, give him that ultimatum, like tell him, I see that I do need you and I apologize, but I need to know without you telling me right now, just give me a signal that you are on my side. And Paul Heyman comes dressed in that suit. There's your signal. Then Solo can sit back and feel comfortable, because he feels comfortable right now with this old bloodline in front of him. He didn't look feared. The only thing he was fearful of is that Paul Heyman came out. That's the only time he looked concerned.
Yo, hey, what if this was a whole ass setup? What if it was a whole setup? Remember when Roman tried to call Heyman and Heyman, he couldn't get Heyman because Solo and them smashed his phone? How do we know Solo didn't get him a new phone? What if Solo got Heyman a new phone and has been in contact with him the whole time?
Yeah.
Why would Roman not have Paul Heyman's new number?
That's a good question.
My answer would be because Roman Reigns has this entire time since his return has believed he has to do it alone.
True. He's really that's a great point, Grun, because that's on the other side of things. Still, we're seeing this internal struggle with Roman Reigns of he's like, dang, I have to actually treat people with respect to get people to do the things that I want them to do. I can't just boss my cousins around.
I want to hit one more point with this. Grun, you brought up the elders and them picking Roman.
Yeah.
Roman is not following what the elders set up, and things are done through family. Roman's coming back saying, I got to do it alone. It's a lone job. I'm a lone knight. And Solo's over there saying, I can't do this without family.
Ooh.
So Solo's actually following exactly what the elders are saying.
This story is so heavily deep. God, it's crazy.
It is deep.
In which that would tell me that the elders spoke to the wise man and said, you are following Solo from now on. And
this is crazy. This whole thing, the way it's unfolded. Damn, Survivor Series really has WWE doing a good job. I'll say that much. I'll say that
remember,
much.
Jay said specifically, we were told to stay away from them. Speaking of the Tongans and Jacob Fatu, we were told to stay away from them. The only thing I can think of is based on what we've seen, that they are animals. They're not warriors.
Yeah.
They're animals.
Yes, but if you put the wise man walking with them, a tamed animal can be your best weapon.
Listen, I will say this, Grun. Once again, I'm still riding. Yeah. I'm still riding on that might be true, but I'm saying this: a Bloodline 2.0 contained by Paul Heyman would destroy the entire WWE.
Yep.
If they listen to his path and follow his path, they can take everything.
Like tradition.
If Paul Heyman is able to turn the Tongans and Jacob Fatu into elite warriors, Solo is definitely going to be the one to dethrone Cody.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
And you know what? That's not crazy. I would say clip that, because if this is what happens, and I'm just saying, you guys have been listening to us, whether you guys are listening to us live, you guys are going to listen to the podcast version, wherever you guys are listening to this at. A lot of things we've been saying been really crazy. And I'm not bragging, bro. Like, you guys know I'm not bragging. A lot of stuff we've been I know, but I'm saying this for the sake of a lot of stuff that we've been saying has been happening. If Paul Heyman turns and focuses all his attention on containing the Bloodline 2.0, Grunge said it here first. I'm backing it up. I think Voice feels the same way. If that's what happens, Solo is going to be the one to take that title off of Cody.
Yeah.
That's
100%. And it would not surprise me by the what follows after that is every single person in the Bloodline holds a title for at least two PLEs.
It's the Heyman effect, bro.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's where they see the money's going to go. That's what's going to get the eyes. That's what's going to, honestly, if this happens, AEW, you better fucking have a lot of things in the bag, because if you're going into this Netflix deal with the possibility of the Bloodline being completely shaken up by one man, the Wise Man, and I know they're on SmackDown, but you don't think that would shift over into other places?
Of course,
you would want to
on
feature
Monday
that.
Night Raw.
Exactly, you would have to feature that. So that's where I'm at with it. I honestly, truly believe that that's exactly where we're going right now.
That's crazy. Yeah, that's gonna be good. I mean, come on, bro. Already what Bronson Reed has been doing, Bronson Reed's been on my radar a whole lot just for the last couple months. The idea of Paul Heyman being by that man's side, it's just like, come on, bro. Like Bronson Reed is made. He's made, bro. He's made. If he has freaking Paul Heyman on his side, he's made, bro. He's a Paul Heyman guy. And once you're a Paul Heyman guy, you're a Paul Heyman guy.
Exactly. And that's what's scary, because just picture Bronson Reed. I mean, what title do you even throw on him? You could throw anything. You could put him and Jacob together and actually make a decent powerhouse fucking tag that would destroy all the tag teams.
Bro, you could do that. Absolutely. 100%. But I'll say this, Bronson Reed, in my eyes, with the way he's moving right now, and if he can pivot out and still keep Paul Heyman with him, this is a guy who could be a world heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
A world heavyweight champion. He could hold that title that Gunther holds right now with Paul Heyman hyping him up, because Paul Heyman makes champions.
That is a great point. And would we not want to see Bronson Reed and Gunther going for the title? I mean,
Gunther's already pivoting to like more like babyface-ish type. Like they've been moving that, like, and Bronson Reed is technically a Raw superstar. Technically he is. But because we're crossing, it doesn't matter because we're crossing shows, and I like the crossing of the shows right now. It makes more sense than it's made in a very long time. Like Bronson Reed's stock is growing, and if you put, once again, I know I'm repeating myself, but whoever listens to us and sees what we're doing, just let Bronson Reed be his own entity in the Bloodline, to where he's doing his own thing, telling his own stories, and then just let Paul Heyman come out with him, just like Heyman was coming out with Solo. When Solo would come out by himself, Heyman would still be there. Do that with Bronson Reed, and you're gonna, I promise you, because Bronson Reed, that man is calling his shot. Bronson Reed is somebody who could have easily got lost in the shuffle, not because he's not talented or different, but because it's just like everything was loaded and stacked. The minute he hit Seth Rollins with 6 tsunamis, everything changed for that man. And then he took another deep turn when he joined the Bloodline 2.0. He's aligning himself and making the right moves to put himself in those conversations to, hey, this guy could be a perennial main eventer in about a year or so.
You're hitting it with him. Bronson Reed every moment that has been presented, he has taken it and he has made his 5 minutes matter. And that is the most important thing. And like you said, even back at that moment when he did hit Seth with those 6 tsunamis, you said in the chat, this is his moment. This is where everything changes for him. and it did. Everything went up. He's making the most of his moments, and it's refreshing, so refreshing to see.
Mm-hmm. It is. It is. Like we talked about Chelsea Green, somebody who took her 5 minutes, and that one thing about her is that she didn't care. She lost all the matches. She was putting over everybody else, and not 1 second did you hear that woman complain. As a matter of fact, she was happy to do it, and she was happy. Listen, I'm here to tell stories. I'm here to make people care. And now she's moved on in this United States Women's Tournament, getting pinfalls and getting huge pops. This is what you do. This is what you do. You take your opportunity, you take whatever little bit of time you can take, and you maximize it, like Chelsea Green, like Bronson Reed. That's exactly what we're seeing. And like we're seeing it now once again with the return of Shinsuke Nakamura. I wanted to make sure I talked about that. Shinsuke is coming back.
Was so good.
Yes, bro. And when he left, he was already on a different wave. Like we saw with the whole anime type subtitles and stuff. And he's leaned a little bit more into that. And it's really like he's just doing great stuff. And I think we've all said, hey, everything going on with LA Knight, I feel like it's ran its course. LA Knight, he could lose. Honestly, straight up, for me, he can lose the title tomorrow and I'm cheesing about it. I'm okay, like seriously. And it's not nothing against him. It's just the title reign. Now that you've got it, I want to see you do something else because he's not a guy that I think like, I don't know. He didn't hit that champion vibe for me in a way.
He's not taking his 5 minutes and running with it.
It still feels like the same old shtick. Like,
yep,
that's what it feels like. It's just that's where it is with me. And like, I hate it because I was huge on, he's calling a shot. He's like the crowd is getting behind him. The LA Knight thing is getting over, and it's still over in the live audience. It is. I will always say that, and maybe that's what he's focusing on is that it's still over in the live audience. But like to the rest of us externally, it's just the same song and dance, and you're just doing it with the title. So I'm ready to see that next thing. I don't know if I want Shinsuke to be the next United States champion. I'm still pretty much calling for Carmelo Hayes. Carmelo Anthony, another guy who I feel like should have been a world champion.
Oh, you and me both, man.
Yeah. I feel like he should have been. I feel like he should have won a title. But as far as Carmelo's winning titles, Carmelo Hayes, man, I still feel like he should be the next guy in line to win that United States champion. I get Shinsuke is coming back. I don't know what that's going to lead to. Once again, I don't know if I want him. I'm glad he's back, and I love what he's doing. I love already early on what he's doing. I don't know if I want him to be next champion. Grun, you saw the return. Where are you at with Shinsuke, and where are you at with LA Knight?
With Shinsuke, I see this as a complete rebirth of Shinsuke. It's a complete rebirth. It's a fresh start. I am all in for it. I can see I can understand Carmelo. You guys want Carmelo Hayes to win the title. I think Shinsuke needs to win the title because Melo doesn't need the win now. He doesn't need the title right now, but he does need wins. He does need to be involved in stories. And it seems like he's going to be involved when his shtick is going to be pissing everybody off, getting into as many fights, into as many matches as possible, even if he doesn't win. Like, if he can, his mind process, his plan right now is probably just get on TV as much as possible. He just pissed Cody off. So I think he and Cody are supposed to have a match next Friday.
I believe you're right. Yeah, I believe you're right on the tape.
Okay, yep. So it's like you have Melo busy with Cody for a minute. Then I don't know, have him, because is the issues between him and Andrade actually resolved? I don't think they are.
No.
Or because LA Knight ruined the seventh match. But Shinsuke, I believe he is at a point where, like, if he's reinventing himself right now, and it's this awesome right now, and it's getting really good feedback, he needs to be the one to dethrone LA Knight. I think it needs to be him, because like I thought we were seeing a rebirth of him when he was doing his feud with Cody, and he fell off after the feud.
Grun, I love you. You're a good friend of mine. We have some great conversations, but do you like to blow your load at appetizers? I don't. I would like to, wait until dinner's done. Maybe we went to a movie. Maybe there was some TV show watching. And then I like to. So I'm going to say to you, picture this. Picture Carmelo taking that title off of LA Knight, finally getting it. Then, like you said, the Andrade saga never ended. He got cheated out of a 7th match. Him and Melo both did. So then there's your next competitor. And we have Melo retain it. And Melo looks at Andrade and says, I told you, I'm better than you. This is the proof. He gets that. Then Shinsuke and Melo have a fantastic thing. So now you're wrapping up all these loose ends. And at that time, you could have LA Knight have his change if he's going to do one. If not, if he's not going to evolve and he's just going to stick with the, yeah, fine, be it. But you don't get a title. So there you're moving the U.S. title. You're making it meaningful. At the end of all of it said and done, Shinsuke does get his title back. And he is still evolving the character that we are starting to see that he is doing. I think that is exactly how you move forward in this title run, and with all of these opponents getting the most that they can out of it. They will all be able to get their 5 minutes. Andrade is going to get that last match with Melo. Melo's going to get that last win over Andrade. Shinsuke is going to have a big match with a guy who's been doing some great work with other competitors. That's what I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. The United States title picture has the potential to be very loaded. Once again, LA Knight's not that guy for me anymore. I mean, no. I'm not against Shinsuke winning the title. I'm just not sure he should be the next one, especially when you got Andrade and Melo floating around. But that's all the points to say that this United States title picture, it's loaded up right now with talent that you could even do a fatal 4-way if you really wanted to. Just do 4 of those men. That's a possibility as well. And
WCW did it all the time with the U.S. title.
Oh yeah, for sure, 100%, 100%. So you could do that. It's an interesting time right now. But man, I want to talk a little bit more because Grun, you talked a little bit earlier about how Melo is poking guys like Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has got a lot on his plate right now for sure, with everything that he's dealing with a highly pissed off and emotional Kevin Owens. And man, I just wanted to bring it to their Instagram, the WWE Instagram, real quick and bring this up.
Because you sat across the line with Randy Orton, you're right. But I loved Randy Orton. I hate you. You don't have to worry about me pulling the trigger this time because you sat across the line with Randy Orton.
This was a promo, y'all. This was a promo that got real deep. I know you got a chance to watch it as well, Grun. What do you think about this promo and this unhinged version of Kevin Owens?
You know what? I've been saying we were gonna get Prize Fighter Owens. This is not Prize Fighter Owens. This is not Prize Fighter Owens. This is the closest we're getting to Kevin Steen. From what I've heard, Kevin Steen, there was a reason why the fans on the indies chanted "Kill Steen, kill."
Yeah, most definitely. We definitely saw a switch. And here's the thing though. Kevin Owens, he was making points though. He was saying things like Roman Reigns and the Bloodline have tried to end my career more than once. I had to fight them for years. For 4 years, I've had to fight them. And then something comes up, and all of a sudden you're going to be buddies with Roman Reigns. And it's like, this is, once again, like I've been saying, somebody's listening here, because this is how the birth of the unhinged Drew McIntyre character really began. Was like, why would you help out the bloodline? I'm not having anything to do with them, and you're a piece of shit for having anything to do with them. And that's how Drew McIntyre molded into becoming like, I don't mess with this guy, and you shouldn't either. And now I'm pissed at you for messing with him, and now I'm going to kick your ass. And now we're seeing that with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens has turned into that unhinged character just in time for the holidays, just like Drew McIntyre last year around the same time. Voice, what are you thinking, man? Because I've called for this, that this was going to happen. This was going to be an interesting lane for Kevin Owens, who still puts on great matches and is an amazing character when he gets a mic in his hand. It just felt like he lacked direction. Now it seems like he has a direction, going up against Cody and being banned from the arena and everything. They're definitely pulling this whole unhinged thing. What do you think about this version of KO?
I think it's going to be great. Honestly, it's going to give a big spark to Cody's title run. And if we're going to be in all fairness, I mean, Cody's title run has fallen flat for me also. Like, there's nothing, like, this is just AEW Cody Rhodes with money. Like, this is all I'm getting. Like, there's no evolution. Yes, are we evolved from him being Stardust? Of course we are. But are we evolved from this Cody era? I mean, he keeps saying these things in promos against some of these biggest competitors, how a fight against them is going to change him and give him a different mindset. But yet we still see the same Cody promo. We see the same Cody mindset in every opponent he goes up against. So is he really learning something? Is he really evolving the character? I don't know. I mean, kids love him. It's the new John Cena era of a champion. We did come off Roman Reigns being champion for quite a bit. But I like this. I think this is going to give some good energy for Cody. I'm not sure if Kevin's going to win. I don't know where they're going with the Cody angle, because there's so many pokers still in the fire, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Where you got to tie up some of these stories at some point.
So to bring that in, and before we wrap this up and call this a really great episode, I have one more statement for that's true, that might be true, that's ridiculous for this particular segment. So a lot of what Kevin Owens was saying was right, and a lot of people, when I was paying attention and looking in comments, which is what I do when I look at these videos, I look in the Instagram comments, I look at the X comments, I look at the Facebook, and I look at all of them, and people are like, Kevin was preaching, Kevin was telling the truth, Kevin wasn't lying, Cody, Cody's this, Cody's that, blah blah blah. So I guess I'm gonna leave it at this. One, Cody and Kevin end up facing each other, and I think that's going down at Saturday Night Main Event, December 14th. We can see, or we will see, a double turn between Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens. That's true. That might be true. That's ridiculous. Grun, what do you think?
We'll go with that. Might be true. I think if they're going to give Cody a lengthy reign, which I was not really on the side of believing, but if they are going to give him a lengthy reign, the only thing to do would be to turn him heel and go full real Cody heel. I'm like, okay, well, how do you do that? Bring in a royal family, a royal court, because he is the American Nightmare. He is of family royalty, of wrestling royalty.
Yep. Okay. Voice, what say you?
I'm gonna go with that might be true also, just because Like I said, Cody needs a change. There needs to be something different that we get from his title run here on out. Like I said, there's so many times he's going up against guys, and he really emphasizes that these matches will change him in the way he goes about a match. So what's left to do with Kevin Owens but turn? What's excuse me, what's left for KO? Some big turn on somebody even more meaningful than a Randy Orton. He said he loved Randy Orton, which he did. They were good friends, but we're seeing a moment in Kevin Owens's character development where he is going more towards what he started with, the Kevin Steen, where that got him to the main stage. So why wouldn't that type of mentality get you the main prize at the main stage? I don't know if they do this at a Saturday Night Main Event, which, like you said, it does seem like that's where they're pushing it. It has to be something impactful. It cannot just be a regular match. It has to have this past SmackDown storyline pushing momentum. It has to have the previous Raws pushing momentum. It's got to do something big. So do we see somebody coming back? Do we see somebody new? Do we see something like that? I mean, it's possible, but I don't know who or what or how you get to that right now. I like where they're going, but it's like I said, it's got to do something big. It cannot just be we're doing the Saturday Night Main Event. Woo! It's got to be big. What was that?
I Quit match? I'm thinking either I Quit or Last Man Standing.
See,
what about an Iron Man match?
That could work. That could definitely work.
I feel like it's been a while since we've seen a good Iron Man match. I know AEW's been doing them, and they've been good on AEW, but I do not. When was the last time WWE did an Iron Man match?
It's been a while.
It's been a while. I think the last closest thing we saw was the what was it? The challenge in NXT, the multi-man Iron Man match.
The Iron Survivor?
Iron Survivor, that's what it is, yeah.
The last one I could think of was the Shawn Michaels one.
Wow.
Yeah.
We'd have to look that up.
We had Charlotte and Becky some years ago.
Oh yeah, we had the Iron Woman match.
Yeah, for sure.
The first Iron Woman's match was Bayley and Sasha Banks, which was touted as one of the best NXT matches on the best NXT takeover of all time. I believe that was the first NXT takeover Brooklyn.
Okay, so the last one for the men's was Kevin Owens and AJ Styles in a 30-minute match on March of 2016.
Okay.
At a live event?
Yes, I believe.
Okay.
Let me pull that up.
Oh, it looks like Ziggler and Seth Rollins had one at Extreme Rules for the Intercontinental Championship.
Okay.
And Ziggler and Rollins, and it ended in overtime. So yeah, they've had a couple, but it's been a while.
It's been a while. It's a match that it requires two highly skilled, highly technical, and highly proficient professional wrestlers.
Well said.
I mean, like I can definitely see you doing like a big meaty man Iron Man match, and it only ends in one fall because, well, you know what? That would make sense for why it would only end in one fall. Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed going at it, and it's just a matter of who the hell can get the other one to stay down for 3 seconds.
For 3 seconds, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah, great point. And it's going back to Cody and Kevin Owens real quick. I know on the last one I rode the fence a little bit. This one, I'm just going to call the shot. I'm going to say that's true. I say that Cody is going to turn heel, and that's going to make Kevin Owens a sympathetic babyface. Because here's the thing. Cody has not been that interesting as a babyface champion. And why is that? Because he has everything. He's conquered everything. He's done it. He has it all.
Yeah.
So there's no adversity for him. If anything, he should be the heel and Kevin Owens should be the babyface because they've made Kevin Owens a martyr. He's the one who they're cutting their mic off. They're suspending him from shows. And people are like, why can't this man speak? Let him tell his side of the story. And now that he's telling his side of the story, people are beginning to side with him because they're like, yeah, Cody's kind of an asshole. And it's all we've been seeing that he's Homelander for so long that he plays this nice guy when really deep down inside he's an asshole. So when's the perfect time for him to show his true colors? When he's got his back up against the wall. Kevin Owens has got him dead to rights, and we see the real Cody Rhodes show his true colors, because that's exactly when we see the true person. Their true personality is when pipes are about to burst, there's pressure, and you're gonna see exactly who Cody Rhodes truly is, and that's the bastard that he really is. And Kevin Owens was right the entire time. I think there's a strong possibility that we can see a title, that we could see a double turn to not only refresh the Kevin Owens character and make him, like, we know he plays good as a heel, but I think that a lane for him could be the martyr babyface, and that just gives perfect opportunity to do what we've only seen, I believe, one man in the last few years do, and that's have a deep turn within the deep run of his title reign, and that's CM Punk when he turned heel on The Rock during his 434-day reign. We can see that happen with Cody Rhodes. He can turn heel mid-title run and totally refresh his title reign.
I like it. And you know what it reminded me of? Bret Hart versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. And I think you can get that way with Cody putting a submission move on KO, and KO just bleeding out to where he just falls out. And then Cody rises from that, just looking at the crowd like, this is my turn. This is when I go. Yeah, I think you could do that with this. And you could put that into an Iron Man match. You could put that into a last man standing match, because that image, like we talked with Sabu, so many of his images of what he's done is imprinted in our heads. That image for Stone Cold is cemented in my fucking head watching that as a kid. That really showed me that Bret Hart was willing to go to big lengths to keep that title, have that title, and just be the dominant force. So I think that's where Cody goes. I think you do something like that caliber, because you don't need Cody like burning down the place.
Yeah,
but you need
him
making that statement of going too far.
Yep. And that's where you see the turn happen, and we see Kevin Owens be the, hey, you were right, this guy is that. And like I said, this is the modern day storytelling that we're seeing, is that you let people tell the story, and then the fans decide who's the babyface and who's the heel. And I think that you do it that way, and you do a great job of blurring the lines in that way, and boom, you got something cooking right there. So I thought this was a good SmackDown. It definitely brought up a lot of great conversations as we lead up to Survivor Series War Games. Join us November 30th in Kokomo, Indiana, right there at Outhouse Records. It's going to be great. We're going to be talking all things War Games. We gave you guys a little bit of taste of That's True, That Might Be True, That's Ridiculous. We'll be doing that night as well, and we will be ready for you guys to answer all your questions, as you guys will have an opportunity to come up to the podium and ask us and our panel anything that you want to ask us about professional wrestling. With that being said, we're going to call this a really great episode, ladies and gentlemen. And when we do that, I got to give my guys the opportunity to plug anything that they want to plug. I'm going to throw it over to my man on Fridays. He hangs out in his room and talks all things SmackDown, but he does a lot of other awesome things in gaming and streaming as well. Why don't you go ahead and tell him about that, Grun?
You can catch me at twitch.tv/Grunmeister. Where I am probably streaming on either Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays, sometimes Sundays, is simply most of the time just gaming, just chilling, relaxing, having a good time. But Fridays, that is when I am talking about SmackDown. It is my SmackDown preview review show. It starts at 7 p.m. Eastern every Friday night, unless there's a special occasion. In that case, it might be earlier. But I'm always talking SmackDown on Fridays.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you do an amazing show on Mondays with this man over here. I get a chance to do awesome shows with him on Fridays as well as we get extreme. I call him the educator of extreme. That's the voice, Josh Joseph. Let him know everything you've got going on because you got a lot of shows you've got moving now, man.
I do. So like they said, Monday nights you can catch us at 7 p.m. where me, Grunmeister, the blue-eyed villain himself, and Kevin Calloway, the Chaos Goblin, we dive into Monday Night Raw and we give you that review show. We get you ready an hour before Raw and then we kick you off the most educated fans you could ever be. And then you can, follow it up and be like, hey, you guys were wrong. And then we can talk about it because that's what we do there. There's two subjects that we talk about in a general sense. And then my co-hosts, they take over and they give me their thoughts of the week on a subject of their choosing. It's a fun time. Come join us. It is a blast. That's 7 p.m. every Monday, an hour before Raw. And then we send you off to the Raw. All right. So after that, you can catch me on Friday nights. Friday nights, we do something different. We go extreme. We go back in time and we go and look at ECW Hardcore TV. It's 1997 and it is in November. Ooh, it's a little chilly, but November to remember is on its way and we are about to see some spectacular events. It's a fantastic story if you follow it, if you remember it. So many things are happening. Bam Bam Bigelow is our champion. He and Shane Douglas decided to beat the hell out of each other at the hands of ravishing Rick Rude. Yes, I said his name, Rick Rude. So join me and Howse on a Friday where we get extreme. It's a blast. And go check out that Sabu interview from last week. It is extreme. It is fun. It is a great time. You get to see Sabu in a light that most people don't. So come join us. Come watch that. It's a fun time. And then you can catch me on Saturdays where me and Viking Storm, we hit the high seas, the conspiracies at seas, where me and Viking Storm, we talk one topic. It's conspiracy theories. We pick out through an array of them. Last night was our first inaugural one, and we talked about Project Bluebeam. It was fun. It went quite long, and it was a good time. There was a lot of chat. So come join me for that. And then on Sundays, you can catch me here doing exactly what you just seen. If you like it, you love it. I hope you like it. And if you disagree with me and you just want to come and just argue with me, I love that too, because this is where it's at. This is where IYH is. And next Saturday, come be a part of it live. The first one is always going to be the one that everybody talks about. So come be a part of it and have some fun with us here at In Your House.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Well said, because Saturday is I can just tell there's already electricity in the air around this next Saturday. Survivor Series is going to be a great event. What we're doing is going to be an epic event. It's just going to be great times had by all, a great gathering of wrestling fans where we're going to talk wrestling, enjoy it, have a blast. I mean, I'm just so excited that we're going to be able to give this to people who not just follow what we do, but just love wrestling. And it's going to give people a chance to see what we do and want to, and more listeners and follow us, because if this goes well, ladies and gentlemen, this will not be the last time that we do something like this. And the way that it's moving, I think it's going to go quite well, most definitely. So with that being said, you guys already know where you can catch me at. Right here, doing my thing and In Your House, making sure that everything is going how it goes, and it goes great. Note, once again, my schedule will be being reduced a little bit in the month of December just because of holidays and my shoot job. And if you guys know, you know. For now, the Raw deal will be moving to Tuesdays. So myself and Annie O'Neill will be doing our thing on Tuesdays. I'm going to be jumping in to the ECW watch along when I can, but mostly that will be held down by the voice, Josh Joseph, and he's going to do a great job so I can get back and make sure that because we're building something. We're not doing stuff for no reason here. Like, the ECW's been great. Trust me, guys, if you guys are loving the ECW watch along, which I've got some feedback about it and whatnot, and you guys, like it, the downloads are coming there. We've got other stuff. I've still got other guests from ECW that I've been touching base with. I turned down in December, but that's just because once things lighten up in January and February, I go super hard. So it's going to be a great time. It's going to be awesome. So just trust the process, guys. You guys already know, if you guys are longtime listeners, this is a normal thing. I've been doing this for a couple years, so it's nothing new. But if you are new, just know that that's how it goes down. But we ain't stopping. This train is rolling because we are dedicated to that work, because it's HOWSC and the W stands for work. So for the Grundmeister, for the voice Josh Joseph, for Hypocrisy Jones, for Divinely Designed Annie O'Neill, for the Chaos Goblin Kevin Calloway, and of course for the world's most dangerous podcaster paragon, I am Alakhan the Concept House, here to remind you to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to tell a friend, to hop on this bandwagon, get on or get gone, because the household is still going mighty strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.
Yeah. In your house with O'Khan. Hey, O'Khan in your house. Hollywood in your house. Hypocrisy's head in the clouds. Curating all kind of loud. Wrestling in front of the crowds. Paragon's holding it down. Anybody can get it. Josh Joseph standing on his decisions. He is the voice. There is no choice. We is them boys in your house making wrestling noise. Moving fast just like cruiserweight action. In your house is the perfect distraction. Pumpers in your ears when you in traction. Get this work with some wrestling action. Smooth.